嗨，大家好，这里是Yui的。那我们今天来玩今天北谷团队的另外一个游戏 As an Adult with Care。 我蛮喜欢Us Two Games 他们的游戏，他们的颜色都很漂亮，这样子我觉得很推荐大家去看一看。那我们开始吧。因为我之前有玩过啦，都蛮可爱的，原本这边都是没有的。我就转到前面给大家看好了，因为我想要从头玩看给大家看。
After a year on the road, I thought I'd get tired of traveling. The endless clatter of railways, highways, and everything in between.
我很喜欢他们里面的那个声优的声音，都蛮舒服的。然后就像在听故事这样子，而且音乐也很舒服。
But as my train pulled into the station at Bella Riva, I felt every bit as excited as the first day of my journey. A whole year. It felt like a lifetime. The places I'd seen, the people I'd met, of course, the forgotten treasures I'd given a new lease of life along the way. I'm a restorer by trade. Bringing our most beloved possessions back to life is what I love to do. I'd been traveling for months, working my way from one town to the next, fixing everything from family heirlooms to VCRs. Bella Riva was my chance to take a break. Unfortunately, that would have to wait until after I'd unpacked.
原来这画面就这样子，那可以把东西拿起来放下，然后还会有可以旋转的地方，然后它这边旋转，然后它叫你打开，那你要点了以后把它按开。超棒的，很漂亮的。然后还要把东西拿出来。
My passport. Not many blank pages left now.
好好，我想。
The tools of my trade. No hope of restoring things without these. I picked up these sunglasses on my last stop. Hopefully I'm cool enough to pull them off. I saw a guitarist wearing these at a show once. Rock and roll repair woman, at your service. My favorite overalls. These will never go out of style. Who doesn't love a scrunchie? Practical and stylish.
你看，底片机。
My parents took this after I made my first repair. Seems like a lifetime ago. I'll hand these out once I'm settled in. Fingers crossed they get me some work.
你看，连这边的时候还可以转，很可爱。
Finally, I'd made it to Bella Riva. I'd come for the food festival, taking place in a few days' time. After living off TV dinners and instant ramen for the last few months, I was craving a decent meal. Of course, I'd need to earn enough money to pay for it, so I figured I'd head out the next day and find some work. My parents never wanted me to go. They wanted me to stay in their shop and have a simple, stationary life. I knew there was a world out there, beyond the four walls of our antique store, that I had to be a part of. I daydreamed constantly about the weird and wonderful places each of our antiques came from. I loved figuring out their stories, revealing the memories hidden beneath the screws and wires. My story in Bella Riva began with a little girl, and a voice she was longing to hear. It was my first morning in Bella Riva, and I couldn't wait to leave my hotel and explore. It was a quiet town, its streets and alleyways basking peacefully in the hot morning sun.
我觉得这个声音真的很好听，因为它很空气音，你知道吗？就是很像咖啡厅里面的声音啊，街道的声音，还有脚踏车的声音，所有都融合在这个音乐里面，所以让人觉得蛮舒服的。像是现在疫情没有办法出去的时候，这真的是很棒的一个。在游戏当中，你感觉很像就是你有出去玩，然后出国这样子。在这个疫情当中，我觉得是必要的，至少很舒服啦。对啊。
In the main square, meanwhile, preparations were underway for the festival in a few days' time.
就是由游戏当中带你出去玩这样子，让你的在这段苦闷的疫情当中有点休闲娱乐这样。不是只有看剧这样，因为你看剧看久了，你也会有点累，然后有点闲这样子，让生活当中有点变化。
As I handed out my flyers, I wondered what the people of Bella Riva would need me to fix. So far, everything here seemed perfect. I was starting to worry I'd made a mistake when I felt someone tapping me on the back.
Hi, I'm Izzy.Do you know how to fix things?
我第一次看到这个小女孩的时候，我觉得她看起来像是，我不知道我觉得她看起来蛮大的，只是看到脸有点圆圆的，就觉得好啦，应该是小孩子那样，而且跟声音我一开始兜不起来。
It was a little girl, maybe 7 years old, who must have gotten hold of one of my flyers.She rummaged around in her backpack until she hauled out a battered red cassette deck.
你相信吗？她7岁，跟那个迪士尼的那个，不是，应该说不是迪士尼，应该说童话故事里面那个小红帽是不是小红帽，那个叫白雪公主。对，白雪公主也7岁，大家知道吗？她长那样7岁。好啦，这不是重点，我们继续。
My tape is broken and I can't make it work anymore. I tried to fix it myself, but there's this metal thing in the way. Can you try?
I try. 我刚才就这个一个画面，然后就带你去看很多复古的东西，其实蛮怀念的啦。而且应该已经有很多人不知道这东西要怎么开怎么用，它就在里面，你看有没有东西要怎么按，它所有东西都几乎长得差不多这样，虽然没有实际上那么复杂，这样，那就拿工具，我把它拆开。
Aha! Those batteries look like they need replacing. Luckily, I have some spares.
他超厉害的，什么东西都带。维修员，专业，而且那个电池都已经黑掉了，这东西还能用吗？应该里面应该已经漏液了吧？超有趣。鼻子过敏，从小都过敏了。好可爱。然后盖就是它，这个还有人记得吗？转的时候我们会拿铅笔。
Why did you do that?
你看小朋友都不记得了。
How did you do that? I didn't see.
很可爱。那你要把它打开，放进去，哎，放进去，闭起来，播放。
Will you dream a dream for me if I sit by your side and hold you so tight? Know
我已经
that
第二次听了，我还
I
是
will
起鸡皮
always
疙瘩。
love you, even though we both know that we must say goodnight. Good night, my darling.
可爱猫。
When it finished, Izzy picked up the tape deck and tucked it carefully into her backpack.
Thanks, Maria. You're the best person at fixing things ever.
No problem. Who was that singing? They're very good.
It's my mum. She's not here anymore.
Izzy trailed off. It was the kind of silence a cassette tape would never be enough to fill. When Izzy's friends called for her, she dug deep into her pockets, looking for something to pay me with. Eventually, she produced a grand total of a stick of gum, 3 mismatched buttons, and a yo-yo. I usually preferred a check, but Izzy looked so serious, I wrote out a full receipt. She seemed like a happy kid, but beneath it all, part of her life had been shattered. A part I wouldn't be able to fix. My first repair complete, I spent the rest of the day doing small jobs in and around the square. I was exhausted when I got back to my hotel and found a message asking me to make one more visit. The address led me to a quaint little house, a stone's throw from the beach. Bathed in the evening light, it looked beautiful, in spite of its flaking paintwork and chipped tiles. The front door was opened by a harried-looking man, still dressed from a long day at the office.
Are you Maria? My name's Joseph. I'm Isabel's father.
我告诉你，我第一次听的时候，我超喜欢爸爸的声音，超赞的，就是很性感的那种声音。
I'm so sorry she bothered you this morning. Please, come in. I'd like to settle up properly.
On the mantelpiece, I saw the remains of a broken statue. Without thinking, I picked up a fragment.
Ah, my father's statue. What's left of it, at least. Yet another way I'd have disappointed him. It survived 100 years in this family. But 5 minutes with Isabel and... Do you think you can salvage it?
爸爸说的是。
Will you be able to see the glue afterwards? I don't want people seeing the cracks.
这个超厉害的，就算我狗出去也不会用。脚。
Sometimes I think my daughter should come with a warning label.
真心觉得用白胶还粘不起来，我不知道这个是什么3秒胶吗？可是3秒胶不是白色的，I don't know。
Is this glue really strong enough to hold everything together?
I really don't know. 耶，吐出去了，哦呼！我要把它打，你看这样就没事了，超猛。所以你看那个后面的那个阴影，有够赞，酷。何？我要再吐刺。好的。很可爱。
Thank you, Maria. It looks as perfect as it ever did. My father wanted me to make something of myself. He didn't have time for anything less.
As Joseph put the statue back on the shelf, it nudged against the family portrait stood proudly next to it. So he was Bellariva's mayor. And that was Izzy's mom. They must both miss her so much.
Sorry, I'm a little tired. I've been working late getting things sorted for the festival. There's only a few days to go. Looks like I'll be working late. Again.
When I told my parents I wanted to leave, they always found an excuse to be busy, to avoid talking about it. I guess keeping themselves occupied was their way of pretending it wasn't happening. Joseph's work must have been taking up so much of his time. But maybe that was what he wanted. I just hoped he was finding enough time for Izzy, too.
我觉得这不是谁的问题，就是有时候男女朋友也会有这种问题，就是一方比较忙这样子，没有办法陪伴到另外一半，但就是有时候真的是互相体谅啦，其实。但互相体谅当中，就是你还是要关心一下对方。假如他有一点点给你一点点警讯的时候，你要相对的要有一些应对，而不是把事情就是摆在那边，因为摆在那边它不会变好，就只会摆在那边会像面包一样这样膨胀，面团一样有没有发酵膨胀。然后等你要回去它原本的那样面团的样子的时候，其实已经回不去了。所以我觉得，有发现问题的时候，还是尽早把它解决，而不是摆在那边。对，我觉得这是目前故事给我们的启发啦。我觉得个人对，所以可能每个人看到这个故事感觉不太一样。对。
My second day in Bellariva dawned bright and clear. Another beautiful sunny morning. Walking into town, I passed cafes overflowing with customers cradling their morning coffees. I stopped, breathing in the smell of roasted coffee beans and freshly baked pastries. I was about to go inside when the owner of Carmen's, the cafe next door, stopped me.
Hello, Maria? Were you here yesterday handing out flyers? I have a job for you.
Her place was petite, tucked between its competitors as if hoping they wouldn't notice. Judging by the empty tables inside, though, her potential customers hadn't noticed it either.
It's a bit slow today, but we're just getting started. I'm sure it'll pick up soon.
As Carmen chatted, she walked over to the counter and returned with an old rotary phone.
At least I've got plenty of time to practice my recipe for the festival. It's a new special I've been working on. I was hoping to call my sister for some, seasoning tips, but it won't connect. Can you see if you can figure out what's wrong? Obviously, we'd normally be much busier than this. You can fix it, can't you? I can't afford to replace it.
我在修东西，不要吵。哦，超会搭。啊。一个新的。电话接电话，然后铃声接铃声。
Looks like this new circuit board is all hooked up.
Yep. Circle of life. And put it on. Put it on. Put it on.
I should make sure I screw everything back together.
I know it. Okay. Shoo. Cute. 你看，我不知道大家家里面之前有没有这种电话。我记得家里面的时候是一个就是很复古的蓝绿色电话。对，我们之前家里面小时候的记忆这样。
When I handed the phone back to Carmen, she seemed almost reluctant to take it from me.
So it's all working now, is it? I don't have to leave it to dry or let it cool down?
Nope, it's ready to go. It'll be ringing off the hook in no time.
That's if I can pay my phone bill anyway. And the rent, and the suppliers. Anyway, take a seat and I'll be right with you. Your coffee's on the house.
I sat at one of the empty tables, while at the counter, Carmen had started dialing the phone. As she talked, Carmen became more and more tense. This didn't seem like a call for some cooking advice.
I know I still owe you from last time, but I can't afford to take part in the festival if I don't pay.
I could almost feel the eye roll at the other end of the line.
You don't need to be here, though. Can't you just put the check in the post?
When the call ended, Carmen brought me my coffee, her hands trembling.
Sorry about that. My sister's decided to fly in for a visit. Oh God, I have to get ready. Actually, I might have another job for you. Can you come by tomorrow?
The next day, I'd promised Carmen I'd return to help her get the cafe ready for her sister's arrival. I was about to set out when I received an unexpected call from my hotel's reception desk. Apparently, another guest had asked for me by name. Curious, I took the creaking elevator up to the top floor, I made my way to the room number they'd given. I knocked.
Are you here about the camera? It's about time.
The woman in front of me was immaculate. Not a hair out of place or a crease to be seen.
My sister tells me you know how to fix things. I'd usually go to an expert, of course, but in this town...
So this was Carmen's sister? The two of them couldn't have been more different. Inside her room, I saw a beautiful reflex camera. Any professional photographer's dream.
Yep.
The viewfinder is completely dark. I can't see anything through it at all. I assume you can figure out what's wrong.
超美的。而且他很用心，还贴了这张给你一个提示，因为有些人不知道。好吧。先把镜头拿下。啊，假如实际的话，你要记得用一个方针的把它盖起来哦。不然这个相机可能还没拔开就挂。
I don't suppose you've fixed anything this valuable before.
闭嘴，弟弟。哎，没有装到。嘿。
If I used the screwdriver, I could adjust the angle of the mirror. Perfect. Now the viewfinder should be working.
Sure. 忘记把它装进去。OK。漂亮，盖上去啊！不知道大家是不是跟我一样，就是很喜欢镜头卡上去跟按快门的声音，超爽的啊！让我很想买的 Canon 的那一台。
I felt a pang of envy as I handed the camera to Helena. I put my disposable to shame.
I picked it up on my first trip to Paris. It's a 1958 limited edition, the first of its kind. It cost me 3 months' salary, but it was worth it.
I had no idea what 3 months' salary meant to Helena, but I was pretty sure it was more than I could afford. It was strange, really, that we were even staying in the same hotel. I'd picked this place because it was cheap and cheerful, but surely she could afford somewhere better? She took some test shots, fiddling with the camera settings until she was absolutely satisfied.
This work is immaculate. At least there's one person in this town who knows what they're doing. Sending you to me might be the first thing Carmen's actually gotten right.
I wondered why Helena had bothered coming if she thought so little of her sister.
I hear nothing from her for weeks, and then when she finally does call me, all she wants is money. If she thinks I'm lending her another penny, she'll have to convince me it's not a total waste of time.
That didn't sound good. If Hurricane Helena was about to hit, I hoped Carmen was ready. The sun was setting over Bellariva by the time I reached Carmen's cafe. From the outside, it looked as quiet as ever, but inside, I found Carmen cleaning like her life depended on it.
Maria! Oh, don't mind all of this. If Helena finds one speck of dust in here, I'll never hear the end of it.
他不紧张，就是客人看到棵树，他很担心他姐姐来，这也是蛮妙的。
Carmen seemed pleased to see me, but I sensed the fidgeting tension beneath each sweep of her mop. Trying to live up to the standards of someone like Helena seemed like an impossible task.
I hope you didn't mind fixing the camera for her. She was furious when it broke. I really need this to go well. If she doesn't lend me the money, I don't know how long I can keep this place going.
Carmen led me to a back room, where she'd laid out the components of what looked like a neon sign.
I had this made when I first opened the cafe, but I'm hopeless with electronics.
So there was supposed to be a sign outside. This might explain the lack of customers.
I'd like to put it up before Helena gets here. Can you give it a try?
No. 我就忘记了。嘿。不是啦，我要转。啊，不行，掉下来了。呀。Wonderful 这招是怎么用啊？会亮，不错。
I don't know, it's a bit flat. Maybe if it flashes, it'll really catch people's eye.
Great idea! I think I have a spare part that could do that.
Oh. Okay. 那我真的有点忘记了。我不想把它拔下来。靠腰。好。会。
It still needs something else. Maybe we can add one of these.
What? Thank you. OK， 我抄上去。我也不想拔下来。这圈圈怎么来？不断的把它拔下来。Great. 先拔下来好多次。
It works! I'll screw everything together again and you'll be set.
Not bad.
The sign fixed, we headed outside and mounted it carefully over the cafe door.
Oh, that's perfect, Maria. It looks just how I imagined it. When I had this sign made, it all seemed so simple. Oh, I can't believe I might have to give it all up. I hope I've done enough.
The smile froze on her face as she spotted something over my shoulder. I turned to see.
Of course, my sister owns the only cafe in this entire town that isn't actually open.
For better or worse, Helena had arrived. Carmen opened her mouth to explain, but Helena swept indifferently past her. Finally pausing in the doorway, she turned back towards Carmen.
The first thing we're doing is getting rid of that hideous sign.
And with that, she disappeared inside. I hoped Carmen's chances of saving the cafe hadn't disappeared with her.
可怕的姐姐。
It was the day before the festival, and the whole town was busy getting ready. I had more work than I knew what to do with. When Joseph called with another job, I was craving the cool quiet of his and Izzy's seafront house. I'd barely reached their front door when I heard someone calling me.
Psst. Maria, I need your help. Quickly, it's top secret.
Oh, so cute.
It was Izzy, peeking out from the side of the house. She beckoned for me to follow her. She led me through to a beautiful, unruly garden overflowing with flowers of every color. Nestled among them was a playhouse, its doorway almost completely obscured by a towering rose bush.
好可爱，秘密小木屋。
You have to squeeze past it and breathe in real small, like this.
Izzy took in a big gulp of air and crawled through the gap and into the playhouse.
真的好可爱啊！
I hadn't planned on crawling in the dirt today, but the life of a repairwoman never did run smooth. On the table inside, there was an electronic toy. Not exactly the usual stock in my parents' antique shop.
I had an accident. I didn't do it on purpose or anything, but it won't turn on anymore. Can you fix it for me?
哦，好可爱哦！很久没有看到这种机器了，你知道吗？好可爱，超可爱的，很可爱，超可爱。哈，受教了。嗯。应该是这个。 Okay. 我等我都忘记插在上面。鼻子不受控。这什么游戏啊？Pom play? Forest Adventures. Yokoi.
Do grown-ups play games as well?
当然会啊，小孩子。哦，好可爱，好可爱。Can I play?
Can you show me how to play? I tried before, but it was so hard.
哦，好可爱哦。要按 A。好可爱，可爱极了。哦，好可爱。捕捉鸟鸟的游戏。好可爱，好可爱，这个我喜欢。
Her toy fixed, I watched Izzy retreat into its screen, taking refuge in a 3-inch world of her own. Well, I'd better head inside. Your dad is waiting for me.
Please don't tell him about the game. He'll think I broke it on purpose.
Aww.
Why would he think that?
Because, well, I kind of dropped it really hard at the wall.
Izzy looked down, scuffing her shoes on the worn floor of the playhouse.
My dad said I have to go to this stupid festival tomorrow and put on a stupid dress, and I don't want to. All he cares about is working. He never wants to see me unless it's for his job. I'm not going. He can't make me.
Oh, my dear.
With that, Izzy dove back through the rosebush and disappeared into the wilds of the garden. She was so young. She couldn't be expected to see that her dad was struggling too. It made me think, had I really tried hard enough to understand my parents' point of view? I was so focused on the adventures ahead of me. Maybe I didn't care enough about leaving them behind. Leaving Izzy hiding in the garden, I walked around to the front of the house and rang the doorbell. It was only then I noticed my favorite overalls covered in grass stains. I scrubbed desperately, but it was too late.
Maria, what are you doing? What happened to your clothes?
I was, repairing a lawnmower.
How unusual. Well, do come in. The job I've got for you is a little more delicate.
Totally embarrassed, I walked into an orderly room filled with papers and ledgers. So this was his office. You must be so busy getting ready for the festival. Are you looking forward to it?
Of course. It's traditional for the mayor to judge food from every cafe and restaurant in town. I'll be declaring the best chef in Bellariva by this time tomorrow. Speaking of which...
He unclipped the watch from his wrist and very carefully handed it to me.
I'll have a tight schedule to follow, but my watch stopped working a while ago. Could you see if you can make it tick again?
Love always. Oh, so cute.
Ah, the main plate has completely cracked. I'll need to replace it. The cogs look good, though. If I'm careful, I can reuse those.
OK。我刚还以为我把它摔烂。
Are you sure it will all fit back together?
I'm not sure.
I've not gone a day without this watch since my wife gave it to me.
哦，天哪，什么压力？哦，啊！我上次没有按到哎，原来旁边的茶可以喝。啊，cool。过来吧。嗯。应该没有。哦。可是手不了。嗯，我好像有个没有用到。哎呀！ 嗯。哦，我又按到，很喜欢喝茶。哦 ，here。哦，刚刚应该是对的。对了，哦，原来我少一个步骤。我不知道它原本在酸的时候会一个个酸吗？还是全部都摆好以后再酸？不是会像它这样。好了，哦，终于，我刚刚忘记转过来。
As I handed the watch back to Joseph, my fingers traced over the engraving on the back. I hoped fixing this was one small way I could help him move forward.
I can't believe it's working, Maria. Thank you. My wife was a brilliant woman. Feeling this ticking on my wrist, it makes me feel like she's still here. Watches measure minutes and hours like they're infinite. I didn't know we had so little time. Even with Isabel, I barely see her. And when I do, she acts like she hates me.
Just then, the phone rang. Even when he was at home, his work was never done.
Sorry, Maria. I have to take this. I'll see you at the festival tomorrow.
As I left, I turned and saw him pacing the floor of his office, his watch glinting in the afternoon sun. I hoped its quiet ticking would at least bring him some peace during the busy days to come. When my last job of the day brought me to Carmen's apartment, the door was opened by someone I didn't expect to see, Helena.
Sorry for inflicting this mess on you. Carmen's never seen a knick-knack she doesn't want to buy, apparently.
Carmen's apartment was a little chaotic, but totally charming. It was easy to imagine her living in a place like this. It definitely wasn't Helena's style. She seemed more upmarket than flea market. I wondered why she was even here.
We're having a clear-out. Or at least I am. Carmen's not helping, as usual. There's a market at the festival tomorrow. I'm selling some of these things to make her some money. She says she has nothing when there's all this stuff right under her nose.
Helena stepped delicately past the items on the floor and reached down to pick up one from the pile.
Look at this slide projector. Our parents treasured it, but Carmen treats it like a piece of junk. Can you take a look?
Okay. Wow.
That light bulb is completely smashed.
Thank you.
Okay, I'll need to redirect the light to the lens at the top for the projector to work.
哼。有点忘记。
Oh, typical. Carmen's even managed to get a slide stuck in here. I was so excited when I moved to the city. Carmen, she looks so sad. Here's the clicker you'll need to attach. God knows how Carmen broke that as well. When we were younger, Carmen was always following me around.
Looks like something is still missing.
我不知道大家有没有用过这一台，其实我没有用过。 像有看过啊，所以就OK， 可以 push。
I suppose she looked up to me. A cool older sister. She used to ask me when I was coming home, but I was always too busy.
Helena was transfixed, staring at the two young sisters the projector had brought glaringly into focus.
I never meant to let her down.
But you haven't, have you? You came all this way just to help with the cafe, plus the money.
That's the problem. There is no money. I lost my job a few months ago. My savings are almost gone. I have nothing. Carmen thinks I'll throw my checkbook at her bad decisions and make them okay. But I can't. Not this time. You know, the funny thing is, I came here wanting to tell her the truth. But she's so infuriating. How can I ask her for help when all she cares about is herself?
Helena fell silent, shrinking under the gaze of her younger self, projected onto the wall.
We drifted so far apart when I moved away. It felt like the only thing keeping us together was my bank balance. I know I have to tell her the truth. It isn't fair. But I already lost everything else. What if I lose her too?
Sad.
The day of the festival finally came, and after all my hard work, I was ready to put down my tools and pick up a fork. The smell as I entered the main square was incredible. Each stall was selling food even more delicious than the last.
但我觉得能当经济担当的人都蛮厉害的。
The competition would start any minute. Most stall holders were waiting anxiously for the mayor to pay them a visit. All of them, that was, except Carmen, who was still frantically chopping vegetables and stirring pots.
Maria! Thank God you're here. Can I ask you the world's biggest favour? Helena was supposed to help me run the stall today, but she never turned up. Probably too ashamed to show her face. I can't believe she lied to me.
Carmen was stirring so furiously she was in danger of tipping the pot over altogether.
The mayor will be here any minute for the judging, but I'm almost out of my special.
She wasn't really going to ask me, was she? Not on my day off.
I have a stove ready to build and everything. Can you set it up and make me a spare batch?
他妹真的是，哼，这要怎么用？啊 I guess. I don't know.
It all fits. Now to light the gas.
Gas. 会。我怎么用？不知道。啊！我忘记怎么用。啊！我要爆炸了。哦！哇！我着火！啊！危险示范。 可爱的。开始哦，这有什么用？OK， cool。不行啊，要点我。哦，原来是我没抹茶到。
I think that pot is really boiling now. It smells great if I say so myself. Here are the ingredients that Carmen's given me. What to add first?
I don't know. 我看不懂他在写什么哎。I don't know. 随便丢喽。
That looks good. I'll scoop a spoonful when I'm ready to serve.
啊，就这样。哦，杯。我不确定好不好喝，我随便加的。魔鬼浓
My
汤。
part then, Carmen took over and added the finishing touches. It was just in time, as a moment later, Joseph arrived with Izzy in tow. Carmen anxiously handed them both a serving.
That was so tasty. Can I have some more, please?
Well, you've certainly earned yourself a loyal customer in my daughter. We have a few more meals to taste, but so far you are one of the best. Good luck.
Joseph and Izzy looked so happy together. Maybe the festival was doing them some good after all. Carmen, on the other hand, seemed annoyed. But why, when it had all gone so well?
I wish Helena was here to see this. She's so convinced I'll never succeed at anything.
She wants what's best for you. She's just not very tactful about it.
Yes, I know. Even when I was a kid, she pushed me when no one else did. I just wish she hadn't lied to me. But then, I've asked so much of her over the years. I never stopped to think how much she actually had to give.
The festival finished. I only had one day left before I had to catch my train and leave Bella Riva behind. I couldn't go without saying goodbye to Carmen. So, that evening, I made my way to the cafe. It was unrecognizable. She'd done it. Best food in Bella Riva. Half the town was outside waiting to see what the fuss was about.
Maria! My favourite sous chef, come on through.
It was Carmen, acting every inch the successful cafe owner she deserved to be. Even Helena was there, serving the coffees. This was the last place I expected to see her after yesterday's drama. Carmen led me through to a balcony upstairs, where she brought out an old record player.
I found out where Helena was on the day of the festival. She was selling her camera to clear the cafe's debts. But then she didn't have much left for herself. So, I've asked her to come and stay with me for a while. We have a lot of catching up to do. I wanted to give her this, to cheer her up. We listened to it all the time when we were kids. Do you think it has one last tune in it?
好可爱，这还蛮可爱的。
Okay, let's see what happens when we turn this on. The speaker isn't connected properly. I should check the wiring. The speaker isn't connected properly. I should check the wiring. Here's the problem. This wiring isn't connected properly.
我还没转过来，我看不到。啊。不是啊，我要转。
That's the speed dial connected. Now we should be able to change it.
Okay.
I think that should do it. This record should play beautifully.
对啊，我刚刚这样子啊，刚刚那个飞出来啊，超可怕。
It's spinning the wrong way. How can I get it to play in the right direction? It must be to do with the motor. Let's see if one of these spares can turn things around.
哇哇哇！我想是 DJ。OK。
If I turn the volume up, I should be able to hear it now. This motor doesn't seem to work. Maybe I'll have better luck with a different one.
Huh. Hey. Phew.
Well, it's playing in the right direction. I should check it's turning at the correct speed.
What?
tune must have caught Helena's ear, as she appeared a few moments later.
Is that my old record player? I can't believe you've kept it all these years, Carmen.
Leaning over the music, they looked just like the young sisters the slide projector had preserved all these years, inseparable once again. Carmen told me about your camera. That was a really generous thing to do.
I loved that camera, but I love my sister more. Now it's her time to be the person she wants to be. I'm going to stay here with her for a while. Make up for lost time.
Carmen and Helena's relationship wasn't suddenly going to be perfect, but they were both prepared to try. And to think, it had all started because of a call Carmen made about some seasoning tips. I guess in the end, maybe it wasn't so hard to just pick up the phone and dial. I hadn't spoken to my own parents in a year. I wanted to hear their voices more than anything. But the silence between us was so cavernous. I didn't know how I'd ever find the words to bridge it.
好听哦。
My final morning in Bellariva, I received one last call out to Joseph and Izzy's house. I knew I had to pack, but I figured I could squeeze in one final job before I had to leave. When I arrived, I found Joseph tidying up his wilderness of a garden. The playhouse was already cleared. Inside, I could see Izzy happily testing out her screw-driving skills on the back of her cassette deck.
You've made quite the impression. Izzy, tells me she's going to be a repairwoman like Maria.
I'm sure she could be anything she wanted if she put her mind to it.
She could. She's a brilliant child. Spending the day with her at the festival, I haven't had so much fun in ages. I wanted to give her something before she starts to forget.
Inside, the house was transformed, flooded with light and the sounds of the garden. It felt alive again. This would be my last repair in Bellariva, but it felt like it was the house that had really been restored.
It's a music box. It used to play beautifully, but now when I wind it up, nothing happens. I'd love for Izzy to hear it sing again. Can you help?
为什么大家都有这种啊？好可爱的音乐盒，让我想到安娜塔西亚。哦，那这要怎么用？嘿，它有时候角度啊很难转到真的你看得到，这样很难转，你要这样一直切。
This mechanism is completely broken. I'll need to take it all apart before I can fix it.
Thank you. Ah! 我刚刚那什么鹅叫声？OK。说。
Maria, could you add this family picture of us?
OK。我是浆糊高手。哈哈哈。好可爱哦。看不到，看，我要转过来。放进去，转。我忘记把这个。没错。这样 ，OK， 这一次。为什么没有用？等一下。哦，没有勾到。OK。哎。嘿。
Perfect. The mechanism is good as new.
原来是我没有把它敲对，我就想把它拴起来。这游戏太舒服了，我有时候会突然很安静，很享受。这样没有办法摆。Circle of light.
I think that's everything back together again. I should play it to make sure.
你看，好心开，超可爱的。
My wife used to sing this song to Izzy each night before bed, but I always worked too late to join them. Will you dream a
爸爸唱歌好棒哦。
I sit by your side and hold you so tight. Know that I
我又起鸡皮疙瘩
will
了。
always love you, even though we both know that we must say good night.
好听哦。
I've missed so much already. I want to be the father my wife wanted me to be. I've ended up so much like my own father, working all the time. Izzy needs me more than that, especially now it's just the two of us.
Just the two
My
of
daughter
us.
comes first. Well, until she gets bored of her stuffy old dad anyway.
I'll never ever get bored of you, Dad.
Izzy came running into the room where Joseph scooped her up and onto his shoulders. She gazed at the music box, her eyes shining. I'd never seen her look so happy.
Thank you, Maria, for everything. The things you fixed for me. I'm so glad to have them back.
Joseph was a good father, and I could tell he was determined to be an even better one. When it came down to it, that was all any of us wanted. A second chance to make something right. My time in Bellariva was almost over, but before I left, I knew there was something of my own I needed to fix.
Aww. 差点完的。
My time in Bellariva was almost at an end. Another chapter finished in a story whose ending I hadn't felt ready to write. The people I'd met, the items I'd restored, they'd taught me so much about what was really important. Pulling out my suitcase from beneath the bed, I remembered the day I stole it from my parents' shop, the day I left. Afterwards, I was too ashamed to call them, to apologize. It was a guilt I'd been carrying around every day since. As I packed, I knew that it was up to me to find a way to lighten the load.
Real 可爱。
Helena gave me these designer shirts. Not sure I'll pull them off as well as she does.
Aww.
Joseph's idea of light reading for the train. It does look thorough.
Okay.
Izzy gave me this in exchange for my repair manual. She'll be a pro in no time. The recipe for Carmen's special. I'm under strict instructions to guard it with my life. My parents would love Bellariva. Maybe I can convince them to make the trip. My train ticket. I can't believe it's time to leave Bellariva behind. The soundtrack to my travels. I'll be listening to this on the journey. My suitcase was full, but it was my heart that felt heavy as I made my way to the station. I was sorry to be leaving Bellariva behind, but I hoped that in my own small way I'd made a difference. Helena and Carmen's reunion was possible because they'd learned to overcome their differences. Joseph had realized he shouldn't let his grief or his work get in the way of his relationship with Izzy. They'd each learned to see things from someone else's perspective. Maybe it was time I saw. I knew it would be easier to jump on them. They'd each learned to see things from someone else's perspective. Maybe it was time I saw things through my parents' eyes. I knew it would be easier to jump on the next train, put even more distance between us. But I finally felt ready to talk to them. I just didn't know if they would feel the same. Did I even remember their number? I wasn't sure until I reached for the phone and it all came flooding back. Mom? Dad?
Maria? Is that you?
好棒啊！
I
这种脏。
Dear Maria, Carmen here. Sorry I haven't written. The cafe's been absolutely manic since you left. Luckily, I have Helena here to help. You wouldn't recognise her. She's like a new woman. She's always running round, taking orders and making drinks. I even heard her compliment a customer on their outfit. Personally, I draw the line at fluorescent green bowling shirts, but each to their own. It certainly made the customer smile. She misses the city, though. Bellariva's many things, but it's definitely not as chic as she'd like. She said there was a coffee shop near her old apartment where they made coffee with a shape drawn on top. It got me thinking, I'm an award-winning chef. I can figure out how to put a leaf on a cappuccino. A bit of cosmopolitan coffee might be just what Helena needs. Of course, ordering a new coffee machine was the easy part. I wish you could have seen the mess I got into trying to put the thing together.
超难的。东西多
I
到
saw Maria use her screwdriver a million times. Taking this apart will be easy.
Oh my god. Okay. Okay. 新这个线。
Maybe I should focus on the pipes first. They look easy.
我先插好3根。I don't think so.
I'll need to connect all the pipes correctly to stop the steam pouring out. That steam doesn't look good. There must be something wrong with the pipes. Finally, no more steam.
我不知道有没有用。 哦，有用哎，好吧。所以说，电视3个，咖啡杯是1根。OK， 可以。所以这个饼干也是可以吃了。哦，可以耶，酷，可爱。一直拿不起来。
I think that's everything. Better test the buttons, just to make sure.
Okay.
All done. Piece of cake. Time to make my first coffee, I think.
Uh-oh.
Smells delicious. Now to make it look
我
magical.
不会哦，我不会，我先跟大家说。OK， 这。
A perfect coffee. All it needs is a saucer and a couple of Helena's favourite biscuits.
Oh, 我喜欢吃这个饼干。
I was feeling more has-been than coffee queen by the time I'd made a drink fit for human consumption. It looked a bit, postmodern, but knowing Helena's refined tastes, I hoped she'd think it was intentional. Always the connoisseur, she didn't even bother to look at it at first. She was so busy wafting it under her nose. Steamed up her glasses, of course. How was she going to see my work of art through an eye full of fog? When she finally spotted it, though, she was totally impressed. I'll admit, she spent several minutes trying to figure out exactly what it was I'd drawn. She decided it was probably a horse.
没关系，我不会画。
Well, what she doesn't know won't hurt her. She was impressed enough to ask for another one. I guess I'll need to get some practice in. The whole thing was such hard work, Maria. I never realised how difficult it was, all that mechanical stuff. It made me realise how much I have to thank you for, so I wanted to say that now. Better latte than never. Hoping you're well. Your friend, Carl.
好可爱。哇，我玩完了，是个很舒服的游戏。好，那我今天就玩到这里啦，希望大家今天喜欢。这边是Yui，我们下次再见喽，拜拜。